or in general? Okay, Carl and I have been chatting. Thank you so much for tuning in or staying there with us. We've been chatting a little bit because we have so many things to show you in this wonderful book. Again, the book is called The Hidden Gem, Plants, Animals, and Birds on the Goose Creek Reservoir. So, Carl, let's talk a little bit about how you actually begin the process of going out to make some of these observations.
I sit.
Yeah.
Some people say it's a man's nothing box, but it's
it's like a deer stand.
It is. Actually, I do have a deer stand in the back so
Okay.
that I can get the upper level
Wow.
canopy birds, and especially the migratories when they come through.
Okay.
So I do go up sometimes,
Okay.
and to get the color of some of the wood ducks, the glistening bluish green feathers on the back.
Yeah.
But they're sharp.
Yeah.
I have to camouflage myself. I look like a pile of weeds.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that because there are some pictures in the book. There's a picture that your grandson, I think, took that
Yes.
specifically shows you in your
Yes.
camouflage outfit.
Yes.
Because, of course, if a bird saw a human being, they probably would be less likely to be themselves. And I'm sure you want to be able to capture these birds and these other animals in their natural habitat.
Exactly. I don't want a picture of a bird by a bird feeder.
Oh, for a picture of a bird posing or anything like
Yeah.
that. So naturally, you have to camouflage yourself. One of the things you talked about, and there's a picture in your book where you showed how if you take either a branch or maybe a piece of wood and you
Yes.
actually put bird seed on it, that birds will actually
Yes.
come to it. Tell us how you use that
Yes.
technique.
Well, anyone can do this in their backyard.
Okay.
So a branch falls off the tree.
Yeah.
Just cut a little ridge down the middle of it, put birdseed in it, and mount it underneath a bush,
Wow.
close to a bush. And if you set a chair at the eye level of that, then you can take a picture and it'll always look like it's in the wild because you're down below where the seeds are.
Wow. Wow.
So in the book, you'll find a couple of branches that look familiar.
Yeah, okay. And how did you even know how to do this? I'm the person that I want to know every step in the process. So was some of it just trial and error? Was some of it you reading magazines to get tips? Tell us how you came to know this.
Well, I've always watched National Geographic
Yeah.
and public TV with the wildlife and all of that, and I think his name is Garden.
Okay.
He had a segment where he did something like that, so I can do that in the back.
Yeah.
And some of the birds, they get used to you. So I
Okay.
use the Pavlov principle. I go out and each time I feed them, I clang the container together.
Okay.
And
So that they'll know you're coming, or okay.
to know that I've been there.
Okay. Okay.
And then the Carolina chickadees are very friendly. They'll come down from me to you, away
Wow.
from you sometimes. And the tufted titmouse, they're pretty friendly.
And again, your biology background helped you with this, but did you know how to recognize these birds when you first started, or?
I've always had an interest in that kind of a thing.
Okay.
I think it runs in the family. My mother and my brother Dean, he was big into that too. So yeah, we kind of grew up in the woods.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We love the wildlife.
Yeah, and you don't get nervous or anxious when you see like a huge alligator out there near the reservoir, near the swamp.
Well, you can't get stupid, but they're not. The first time you're out there kayaking,
Okay.
and you don't see them on shore, and they pile off into
I'm nervous
the water,
already,
it
just
will,
thinking
it
about
will
that.
stop your heart the first 3 times.
Now, when you say pile off, what do you mean? You see a whole
They
bunch
don't
of
go
them?
to land; they go to water.
Ooh, okay.
And I've learned that they're not out to get you, although they could if they wanted to. 'Cause
Okay.
they could come out of the water.
Ooh, we got pictures of alligators up.
Overhead high. But they don't seem to bother you in the kayak at all.
But why do they bother you at all? I mean, why do alligators want to eat us? Or why do I think they want to eat us? Or maybe they don't want to eat us.
Well, you don't want to get them angry because
Okay.
they're up to the challenge.
Ooh. Okay.
So there are some that are curious and they'll come up, and I've had them within close to arm length away, and I just take the paddle and slap the water in front of their nose,
Okay.
and it's done.
And how did you know to do that? Was that again just your experience in nature from your family and things of that nature, or things of that sort?
I think I just learned that on my own.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. That's probably the thing that would make me the most nervous. You know, if for example, if you were to invite me out on your kayak, I am really afraid of wildlife.
Well, I think it takes a little bit to get used to.
Okay.
So once you learn that they're not out to get you, and you know, you can't be crazy about it.
Right.
And I've got a 400 millimeter lens,
Okay.
so I can reach out.
Right, without getting that close.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about.
It looks a lot closer than what I am.
Now, what about your absolute first experience with the gator? I know you said that you one got kind of close and you just hit the water with the paddle. Tell us about an experience that you had that made you nervous.
What really made me nervous is I was in my camo,
Okay.
and we're coming up to one of the best seasons of the year because the egrets are starting to nest, what I call Egret Island. And I was over there, and I was all camoed up, so I looked like a pile of leaves.
Okay.
My wife is behind me to warn me if just in case something comes in behind me, but they don't
Okay.
usually. And I was lining up on the birds, and I'm not as careful as I used to be because I know they're not out to get me, but I looked down, and there, I could have slapped him right between the eyes. It was the head of an alligator about that big.
Oh my goodness.
But
I'm about to take off running.
well, that could have been a bad day, but there was a little momentum on the kayak, and I just let it go, and it didn't move, and I didn't move, and we just kind of slid by. But that alligator was better natured than most of them. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So I'd been around that one before, though
That alligator?
I didn't know he was there.
Okay.
But
So you can recognize them individually from different characteristics. I don't know if it's coloring or the way they look or the size of their
usually
teeth.
about where they are.
Oh.
Because they're pretty territorial.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. It's time for another break. Don't go anywhere. I have this a burning question I'm going to ask Carl when we come back. Don't go away. We've got more Low Country Spotlight coming right up.